Keep the light on in the lounge.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Vobes One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Richard Vobes, and the lovely Julia, who is, hang on a moment, going to just stick my headphones on, make sure that she's actually there. The lovely Julia over there in jolly old... Oh, hang on, we've got the clock and all of that starting up again. We don't want any of that. There she is, the lovely Julia. Hello, lovely Julia. How are you? I don't think she can hear me. Hello, lovely Julia. Hello. She's looking a bit confused. Let's leave her for a moment. I can hear you. Can you say a few words?
I can say a few words. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, good. You couldn't hear me before.
I was getting a bit worried.
Oh, don't worry about that. It's nice to have you on the show. How are you, lovely Julia?
Shattered, but I'm here and good. I'm in a good mood.
Oh, fantastic.
How are you?
I've got a bit of echo on you. I've just turned that off. No, I'm very well. In fact, to be honest with you, I know exactly how well you are because I was with you fairly recently because we were taken out by your lovely mother.
Yep. She hired a hitman on us.
She hired... No, don't be silly. We went out for a meal in a pub. We didn't have to wear a mask or anything like that. We were sitting outside.
We just sat outside.
Yeah, we were outside and it was fantastic. So big thank you to Helen, who probably hasn't got home yet in time to watch. But Helen, if you're watching on the delay or later, thank you very much for inviting me over. I was helping the lovely Julia in her garden today. Your lawn looks lovely, by the way, Julia.
Yes, and so does my little veg plot.
Oh, good. Yes, that's right. Someone else.
Thank you very, very much.
It's my pleasure. So there we are. That's the lovely Julia. Now, Echo Julia, it says, we've got lots of people out there in the Vobosphere, so hello to everybody out there. People are gathering in their numbers. What sort of numbers have we got at the moment? 30, it says. Oh, 61. Marvellous. That's really good. Well, Julia, are you fighting fit for a roll call?
I am.
Oh, superb. That sounds great. So, ladies and gentlemen, lovely Julia is going to make sure you're all sitting up smart. You have your arms folded together, that your collars are well and truly ironed and your ties are nice and straight. Over to you, lovely Julia.
We have the lovely Station Master's Choice. We have lovely Daniel Watkins, lovely Jackie H.W., lovely lovely Paul Cockerell, lovely... this is a good start. Lovely Chris Neverard, the lovely Alison O'Brien, the lovely Walking with John and Diana, the lovely G Ramps, the lovely Kerry Baldwin, the lovely Anna Jones, the lovely Andy Stacey, the lovely Tracy Murphy, the lovely Ernie Samat, the lovely Darren Howell, the lovely Clive Waterfall. We have the lovely Kerry Baldwin. We have the lovely Linda Kane. We have the lovely Glyn Horton, the lovely Jeff and Mandy, the lovely Patrick Brooks, the lovely Dave Evad, the lovely Mark Garner. You met up with Mark Garner the other day, didn't you, Richard?
I did, actually. We went down to the seafront and he very kindly bought me a nice cup of coffee. We had a stroll along. We chatted about this. We went down to Homefield Park. He was in Worthing with his lovely wife and his lovely little boy, Thomas, who is a similar age to Joe, I think. And
yes,
had a smashing time. And I believe he's still down in Sussex because he's to Daisy. He's based somewhere around in Gloucester way in the Forest of Dean, I think. And they came down for a bit of a look at places like Fishbourne and the Roman villa there, Bignor, the Roman villa there. I think he's been to Bosham and possibly going to the castle round the back of Stenning, whatever it's called.
Bramber.
Bramber, thank you. Couldn't remember. So absolutely, that's it's been lovely to see him. It's nice to meet up, and I'm hoping to meet up with Mark Burgess very soon as well. So we have a date penciled in, which is very nice. Anyway, sorry, I
need to get the other two Marks involved again as well, don't we?
Yes,
English and Selwood.
Yes, English and Selwood. I mean, if you've ever got an English somebody in England selling wood, you're a better man than I am. Anyway, is that the whole
No, we have more.
Oh,
We have
good,
more.
good.
The lovely Elaine Whitelock, the lovely Colonel Cragratty, the lovely Ron Langley, the lovely Crispin Loves to Dance, the lovely, I think I said Mark Burgess, but I'm saying you again just in case.
Yep, you did.
Lovely Andrew Norris, lovely Kathy B, lovely Jen Colley, lovely Mark's Adventures, and lovely Michael White. And that's all the names that I can see on this end at the moment.
Ah, bless.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Vobosphere this evening.
It's very nice of you to join us on the bank holiday, beginning of the bank holiday weekend here in the UK. Now, I don't know if in other parts of the world at the end of May they have a bank holiday weekend. We had this sort of debate, if you remember rightly, at the beginning, but we discovered to our knowledge, our new knowledge, that actually that was a sort of a Labour Day, wasn't it? The May the 1st and dancing around the maypole, whereas this one is the May bank holiday. I don't know whether they still dance around the maypole on this one. Perhaps they dance around the maypole all the time.
No, the dancing around the maypole, that was for the May Queen, wasn't it? Well,
yeah, it's just that you'll see in a video tomorrow where I meet up with Ringer Ollie, and we are doing a very serious piece of church work in our conversation, and we are interrupted by maypole rehearsals. So something to look out for. So that's what I think we were interrupted by it. So I imagine that they still, perhaps some of these people have been dancing around the maypole all of May.
Maybe. Yeah, I recall because I've seen the preview because I'm a sneaky, lucky thing like that.
You are sneaky.
I thought it was really lovely just to hear it over you guys doing what you were doing. It's a nice little background.
Yeah.
Incidental background noise.
Absolutely.
Music.
Daniel Watkins says it's his birthday on Monday. So happy birthday. And he will be young again. Young again.
Young at heart.
Oh, young at heart.
You're
All right, it'll be
so
young at heart.
Young at heart.
There we go. Now, you're not playing your mandolin in today's show, are you? Your ukulele?
Yeah, no, I'm not playing that.
We're waiting. Are you doing a...
That's a Monday thing.
That's a Monday thing. So are you working on anything for Monday?
I haven't actually
Picked it up since?
Well, I have picked it up since.
Yeah,
but
just to move it
haven't had time
and to dust
yeah.
it down.
No, I've
Oh, right,
I've
okay.
strummed it and played it.
Good.
But,
So you haven't got anything prepared as yet for Monday?
no.
No. That's not an accusation.
No, that's me going, oh, poop. I hadn't.
Oh,
done
good.
anything
Oh,
yet.
good.
But I will. I've got the weekend. And
You've got the
delighted
whole
to save
weekend.
My nan, his nan, my mum.
Yeah, there you go. Andy Stacey says, has anybody heard of the £80 million worth of drugs that washed up on the beaches between New Haven and Seaford? I don't think we have heard any of that, have you, Julia?
Yes, that is
Yeah. Oh, Kirsty, man, Kirsty. We heard nothing about them drugs, boy. No. What kind of drugs were they? Were they paracetamol? Crispin Love to Dance says, where is Julia and Richard? What kind of show is he watching? We are out there, aren't we?
Do you need a refresh on your screen to see if we're
Yeah, we are
actually
going
here?
out, aren't we?
We
We are
actually
definitely
here.
going out, aren't we? Yeah, of course we are. Of
Yeah,
course we are.
we've got people interacting with us. We must be.
Yes. So
Unless it's very fluky.
yeah, it could be flaky.
Daniel
Daniel
closer.
Daniel Watkins says it would be lovely to have a tune on his birthday, Julia.
Do you have a request? I cannot promise to do it, but I can promise to try.
Do you do
or
requests?
give you a good laugh me trying. I can.
Oh,
try.
good. What about, could you do Black Beauty? Bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum, bum.
Straight up, nope.
No, okay, fair dues. I gave that test to Ray. Now, Ray
You
of
did,
Hope,
and
Ray of Hope has another exciting music for, because it's Friday. Friday night is music night, as we now know. As also Wednesday night was music night. I mean, basically any night that Ray sends us some music is music night, which is great with us. Another
Monday's music night because I
techno.
play my ukulele.
Yeah, you do your own, don't you? Fantastic. Look at that. It's blue tonight. Used to be green,
Funny.
didn't
It is it's a kind of tealy, turquoisey kind of shade, but
Yeah.
it catches. It just depends what the light, how
Depends
the light
what-
catches it.
what camera it's on.
Yeah.
Excellent. So there we go. Michael says, was that drugs? Did that come along with the 80 million migrants, immigrants even? Yeah, probably. They probably all smuggled it in within the rubber dinghies. I'm sure they did. Turbo Stream is out there. Hello, Turbo, slipping quietly at the back.
Quietly in the back.
Oh, bless him. And Josephine says, we want a Miley Cyrus song on Monday.
I have actually got a couple in the bag. Well, they're not in the bag. I'm very basic strumming on those, but I can do it.
She can do it.
Just for the laugh.
She can do it. Brilliant stuff. Now, we have videos in tonight's show, as you know. I am thinking, ladies and gentlemen, this may not happen immediately, but I am thinking of shoving all the videos onto Friday night so that Monday is more interaction here in the studio with guests and fun and games. Wednesday is a flying solo, me being a bit argumentative, talking about stuff in the news and having a bit more of a telephone debate with people. And Friday is where all the videos are going. And that's my thinking so that I can balance the show throughout the week rather than constantly have the videos in all of the things. It means that you've got more time to make the videos, which is fantastic because we love those. But it means that if we get bitten on a theme and we're chewing the cud on something, we don't have to suddenly think, oh golly, we've got to push all the videos right at the end, so that we can give them each as much merit as is possible. That's the plan. Let me know what you think.
I think it's a good idea. KPTLDN says, what was the theme to Catweasel?
What was the theme to Catweasel? Yeah, that was a great one. Bum 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 ba bum do 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 dee 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 da da bum. Bum, 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 bum. Anyway, that goes on a bit like that. That was Catweasel. Loved Catweasel as a kid. Brilliant series. And the books weren't too bad either. I think it was by somebody Carpenter, Richard Carpenter, not the singer Richard Carpenter, who was with, of course, the one that died of bulimia or anorexia, whatever, the Carpenters. What was the other? Karen Carpenter, thank you very much. Who died very young. Sadly, my mum was a great fan, but I don't think my mum had anything to do with her death. I'm pretty certain that was she just bought the records and listened to them, plus the fact that my mum was English and they were American. Kerry Baldwin says, I would be more likely to phone in if I had something to talk about. I can rant too. Brilliant. Well, let's make Wednesday the call-in day, and if you've got some topics that you fancy getting off your chest, that would be brilliant. It will be Get It Off Your Chest night on Wednesday. So immediately we can think of bad jokes like bras. Get them off your chest. I think we should... We have a quiz, by the way. I haven't looked at it, but I think Julia's going to be interested in it. Bonnie has a cow quiz. At least I think it's a quiz. It might just be a series of pictures of cows in which you might have to... Oh, no, it's a cow's gallery. Okay, so the quiz is, can you give them names? That will be that. Well, that's coming up in the show, but it's not coming up now because we're going to go... Are you ready for a video, lovely Julia?
I am indeed.
Fantastic, Amorigal. Let's go and have a gander and see what's in the box. And in the box tonight, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that John Fox has sent in his $6 Million Man video. Chris Nevard has got some tits to look at. Bernie is down at Beau Maris. Ray of Hope has his techno number. John Tett, that's John and Diana. I think it's Diana, is it? Who it's? Oh, I've got here C email. Oh yes, because I think Diana's had a rather dreadful operation, but she's okay. But we'll read that out. The lovely Julia is on the track of A Fish and a Tree, or rather fishes, or fish. Fishes isn't really a thing, is it? Fish is the plural, and an interesting tree. In the art gallery, Andrew Norris is showing off some more of his amazing stuff on a bit of a religious theme. And Bonnie has the cow gallery. That's all lined up in the Friday show. So let's go and see if Steve Austin astronaut, a man barely alive. We can rebuild him. We have the technology. He will be the first bionic. I can't remember how it goes now. We will rebuild faster than he was before. Stronger, faster, whatever. $6 million man. That's what we call him. He may not be actually $6 million. He probably wishes he had it. But it's John Fox, ladies and gentlemen, running over the South Downs.
Hello Richard and Julia and all. So I live on the south side of the South Downs, and today I've run over to the north side, which is about 5 miles, and it's quite a gentle gradient. But on the north side it's much steeper because it's been formed by erosion, as a lot of people will know, which gives us the Weald and the North Downs, which you can just about make out in the distance. So yeah, the north side is much steeper, so it's great for running. Fantastic. Look at the view.
How about that? How about that? Makes you out of breath just watching it, doesn't it? Makes you out of breath.
Sure does.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you so much. Great to see the Downs. And of course, I was thinking there, he's run all this way down one end, and he's obviously had to run all the way back, pick up the camera, and then run somewhere else. And when I do it, I only have to walk.
Although I have seen you running a few times.
Have you?
But not quite like Jonathan Fox.
Yeah, not as elegant when I run. That's why I do walking videos and not running videos. But the running man, there he is. How about that? That's amazing. John, thank you so much for sending that in. And we do look forward to each of them as you do them. And of course, you seem to be getting slimmer and slimmer every week. Don't turn side on or we won't see you. You'll just be a slither of a man.
Bathtub. We don't want to lose you down the plug hole.
No, we certainly don't want to lose him down. Oh, I've lost you now. There we are. I lost you for a moment, lovely Julia.
Yeah, you won't lose me down the plug hole.
Depends how big the plug hole is. Walking with John and Diana says, very impressive, John Fox. I used to run across the country, but the body is not up to it now. Ah, bless.
Shame.
There we are. If you fancy...
Audrey's feeling tired now after that.
Yeah, I bet she is. If you fancy giving us a call, you can on 0793 474 6790. The number is on the screen permanently. Just ring in between the videos if you wouldn't mind. That would be good. We saw a cow there and it looked like John was asking the time for the cow. And he obviously has no fear of cows, although he can probably outrun them, even though cows can actually run quite fast.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, I've never timed myself against them. I can say that.
No, I've never experienced how fast they are.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think what we'll do is we'll go in to have a look at Bonnie's cow gallery. So she says here, as I know how much you love cows, here are my favourite cows. In the winter, these cows wear tartan waterproof rugs to keep them warm when they are out in the fields. So let us have a little gander, and if you can tell us what type of cows they are, then you get all the bonus points. You don't get any prizes, but
well, we know what this one is.
yeah, that's Tarquin, and that one is Jemima, and that's Rudolph. Only half of Rudolph's face is available.
Pretty little things.
Small heads and very large body.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very cute, the Jersey cow.
Yeah, very cute. Here is another picture. That one's, I think that one's Chinese, isn't it?
I think she's asleep.
Oh, she's asleep there, or blinked. That is the problem. Sometimes, people
she keeps
can.
blinking because she looked all close-eyed in the last one.
Oh yeah, maybe it's the flies, trying to avoid the flies. Because I always think that's so bad for the cows. They must be so irritated they can't get their hooves up to sort of whack the flies away. And here we are. Here is one giving a little yawn or a stretch
Well, that's
of the
Mabel
neck.
at the front.
Is that Mabel?
Yep, that's Mabel. And then at the back there, the little dark one, that's Fred.
Ah, that's Fred. And the one on the right, I think that's Terence.
Mm-hmm. This brown one at the the pale one behind it.
Yeah.
That's got to be I can't even think of a name now.
Isn't
Gladys? That's Gladys.
Oh,
there.
I thought it was Gertrude, but the Gertrude must be the other one.
Gertrude's over on the left.
Ah, there we go. That's marvellous. And here we are. That's Morris and whatever the one you just said, which I can't
Gladys.
remember. Yeah, Gladys. There we are. So that's nice, isn't it? That's lovely. What beautiful cows they are. I wonder how close. That looks like it's slightly zoomed in. So I wonder how close. Is Bonnie?
Like that one's got a bit of a horn bud still. There.
Oh,
Or is
yeah.
that just a bit of weed debris stuck?
No,
on
I think that is it's a hornbud, isn't it? You'll have to get over there with the old tenon saw and hack it off. I wonder if they would object to that. Probably would if I had. Oh, hello! Didn't mean to press that button. That's because these things are
You didn't
sometimes.
mean to do that, did you?
Didn't mean to do that. The thing were too close. The buttons were too close. Press the wrong one. Bonnie says that's snug and cozy. The last one. Oh yeah, there could be snug and cozy. Could be taken on holiday. So there we are. That was the part of Bonnie's Jersey trip. Well, I hope she came back with a good load of jumpers to wear. Presumably they were there by candlelight because they'd cut off all the electricity, hadn't they? But that's nice to see. Thank you very much.
Apparently, according to Ian McCagan, the Queen has a herd of Jersey cows.
Does she?
Apparently.
I wonder where she keeps them. At the palace?
I don't know.
Does she keep them at the palace?
My husband, deceased husband, and I like to have Jersey herd.
And?
I'm just saying, I am the Queen.
Yes, Your Majesty, that's true. She's allowed to just interrupt the programme at any time because she is the Queen.
I know, I am the Queen.
Bless her little socks. Other people are giving good names. They're saying Jersey, 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 Jersey. Where's Ermintrude? Ermintrude. It says.
I think she's one of the first ones before we actually started thinking about that.
Oh yeah, that's true. And that
She was
Ermintrude,
the
of course,
city one.
from the Magic Roundabout. Remember the Magic Roundabout?
Just about, yeah.
Time for bed. So that was it. You're spot on
Zebedee
there.
didn't actually say that, did he?
Hmm?
That's a common misconception, isn't it?
What?
That Zebedee said that, but he didn't.
He did.
Did he?
Yeah, in every episode. He came in, went, boing, time for bed. Because it was basically
Oh, right.
put on at 5:45, and before the news, and it was really a sort of clue to get the parents to put your kids to bed. Time for bed. Oh yeah, no, that's not a common misconception is in Captain Pugwash about semen stains. But you can use Purcell and get it out. I can assure you on that.
Badumtush.
Yeah, thanks.
Badumtush.
Lovely pics. Love the cows, especially the Frisians. Yeah, we saw.
Michael White says, sorry.
Go.
Michael White says she never puts her jerseys on hot wash.
Yeah, no, I know that from bitter experience.
Yeah.
60 degrees is not the same as a cold wash, although why on the washing machine 60 and woolens are next to each other, I do not know.
It's a bit fatal, that, isn't it?
It is a bit fatal, and I think that the washing machine is in cahoots with what used to be the Edinburgh wool, whatever that country. Oh, I nearly swore then. Whatever that company was called. Yeah, it must be doing that.
There's delicacies involved.
What was it? The Edinburgh Wool Mill. Yes, there we are. I think they're defunct now, aren't they? The Edinburgh Wool Mill. They were great. I used to go in there and buy some wool from Edinburgh. It was very nice. Tracy Murphy remembers the magic roundabout. Glenn Horton says, I had a nightmare about Zebedee when I was a kid. Boing. Time for bed. Lovely. Good old.
So I thought it was boing, said Zebedee.
Well, it might have. No, because he came boinging
I thought
in.
it was Ermentrude that said time for bed, and then Zebedee went boing.
Definitely
I
not.
can't remember.
Definitely no. I'm going to go and find it now. I've got to go and find it. Hang on. I'm going to find the tube of views and a bit of Zebedee saying time for bed. Hang on. Just talk about.
Lynn Horton.
Yeah.
Lynn Horton had a nightmare about Zebedee when she was a kid.
I read that out just now.
Sorry. Oh, you did. Oh, I'll wake up.
Yeah.
I said she. Lynn could be male or female, and I don't actually know which. Sorry.
Time for bed, said Zebedee. Here it is. Hang on. Maybe we might as well. Here we go. This is it. 9 years ago, this was.
I'm probably wrong. What was it?
Don't know if you.
I can't hear that.
Did you not hear that? It did go out. You can't win them all, said Zebedee. Time for bed. Anyway, that was a little bit of nostalgia. Sidetrack thing, but yes, it was great. We used to love Zebedee. He was one of my favourite characters, mainly because he had a spring in his step. Oh, I've lost you again now. Sorry about that. Neither of us are on form tonight. Sorry about it, but we will engage. So I think we'll do another video, and then we're going to go into the art gallery and see what Mr. Norris has sent us. He sent us some lovely pictures, as ever. So, do you like tits? Of course you like tits. These are the.
I like birds.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, I don't know what you were talking about.
I don't know what you're
these
talking
are blue tits. These ones are very cold. Very, very cold. They're frozen, poor little buggers. This is...
they're not Frisian.
They're not... No, that's true, because they'd be black and white. Chris Nevard, I hope I've got your name correct. He has sent these in. These are lovely. He's been filming on his GoPro, and he just happened to have it rigged up, and we'll see a lovely fluttery birds fluttering lovelily in the wind. Here they are. Now that was lovely. they were a bit shaggy, weren't they? That was quite a shaggy old blue tit there.
They are frayed parents.
Frayed
What do you expect?
Yes. But I was interested in the background sound. I don't know if you heard that. It's like
Yeah, wasn't
some
that
weird.
Wasn't that because the footage had been slowed down? It was slowed down natural sound.
Oh, is that what it was? It sounded as
Yeah,
if
that's
it
what I
was
thought.
something from Doctor Who. Some sort of
Exactly. Sounds so
weird
alien, doesn't it? when you
alien
slow it down?
soundtrack. Yeah, with all those other
Awesome.
things.
That was
Brilliant
fantastic.
stuff.
What a treat! Thanks.
Thank you very much. You don't normally get to see them that close, so it was lovely to see them. Or it's the same one, I guess. It was the mother, presumably, coming in. Or it could have been the dad. Who knows? Full of nice, juicy worms and other little insects that it had found.
Caterpillars and things.
Yeah, lots of things. Did the birds you saved ever return? Says Michael White to Andrew. And I have no idea whether that's ever happened or not. I don't know what I'm talking about, really. Right. Into the art gallery we go. I'm pressing the button and nothing's happening. Sing along if you know the tune. Yes, the art gallery, here we are. And an invention of Andrew Norris, and very kindly Andrew has provided us with some rather amazing pictures. Of course, we've been looking at some of his paintings from the 1990s, and this is not going to disappoint like the others that we have seen so far. So he says in his email to me, he says, continuing your theme of churches, because I've been looking at churches, as you may or may not know if you've watched the Bald Explorer stuff. He says, from this morning's video, here are 4 images I made in the 1990s for the gallery page tonight. It's amazing. Andrew Norris is incredible because he can go back in time, paint up some stuff for the show, and then go forward in time and make out that these are 30 years old, which is just outrageous. So the first one we're going to have a look at is St Mary's Church in Falmere in Cambridgeshire. It's 6 inches by 1.5, and it's a lino cut, which he did in 1990. Have a look at this.
Ooh, nice.
That's nice, isn't it? I think lino cut's very clever if you do it right, as indeed Andrew Norris has.
Oh, of course, indubitably.
Indubitably. But because it's, you know, it's just it's only one paint, isn't it? Ink. It's just that black ink.
Yeah,
and the rest is bits that are being cut out. And to cut out the bits that are not inked, basically the white, to give the illusion of the steps leading up to a church with the fire in the sky, or whatever it is, lightning.
I love the crispness of the angular church tower compared to the organic look of the steps there. It's just lovely.
And it's amazing how he's captured the organic nature of the steps with just
and the
cutaway
shrubs.
Yeah, I think it's incredible. Ray of Hope says it's spooky. But
Moody, says Mark Burgess.
Rachel TS says it's a small church, only 6 inches. Well, yes, it is a tiny church. It is for the Diddy men. So if you are one of those, at least you don't go without. And that's very important. We don't want anyone to go without. So that was our first one. The next one is a parish church in South Ease in Sussex. This is, again, same sized church, funnily enough, 6 by 1.5 inches. It's a lino cut, but it was made a year earlier. So let's have a look at this one and see if you can tell the difference.
Brilliant.
And that is very different, isn't it? There's a rocket at the back. There's still that little bit of fire in the background. But no, that's very, very clever.
The artist himself, Andrew Norris, says, actually, those were furrows, not steps. The church was next to a field, about the previous one.
Oh, well, there we are. Just goes to show that art is in the eye of the beholder, not the person who's done the painting. So he can stuff it. They were steps to me. They looked like a sort of an angled load of steps. Maybe it was because the picture was long and narrow, that's how I interpreted it. But we were giving him such compliments on those steps as well.
Well, we were talking about the organicness of it.
Yeah. So
This one, I like it. It's a little bit more busy, isn't it?
it's a bit more busy, yeah. I prefer, out of the two so far, the first one, for me, hit the spot. But let's see what the next one is going to provide, and I will give you an explanation in advance. It is another parish church. This is Albury in Surrey. This is that gouache or gouache or whatever. Gouache. And it's on paper as opposed to on sellotape. This one is 11 by 14 inches, and it was produced in 1993. So let's have a gander at this with Miranda. Very different to the lino cuts, of course, but beautiful. Very pastel. It has that.
It's almost a mist, hasn't it?
A mist, yeah. I was going to say it has a sort of faded look. That's very interesting. And of course, it's interesting how the tree. Look at the trees against the size of the church. That almost seems impossible. That those trees. I mean, church tower. Say that church tower is. Well, it doesn't look very tall, but it's reasonably tall. It must be at least 50 foot. And that
the shape of those trees as well. What species do you think? Do you suppose they would be? I think horse chestnut.
Oh yeah, I suppose they could be. I mean, they look like fir trees to me, like big shaggy fir trees. But they could be horse chestnuts because you've got the little highlighted candelabra, maybe. But
I was half expecting to look closer and see some candelabras on there. They're lovely bloom.
But I think they're firs because the foliage goes right down to the ground.
True.
And you can't see any of the trunk at all.
Although how much ground drops away beyond that little hedge line there?
Well, that's true. It'll make the trees even bigger. I can't believe that tree there is as big as it is compared to the church. I'm not being critical, Andrew, but I mean, he did say that it was.
They were horse chestnut. Woohoo!
Oh, horse chestnut. Oh, there you go. Yes. How about that? Blimey, I stand corrected. Very much so. Dear,
I'll pay you later, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah. Okay, let's go back, and the last one in this batch. These are great. This is the parish church in Shear, which is in Surrey. Again, it's the gouache on paper. Not goulash, by the way.
No,
Andrew
not goulash.
Doesn't paint with his food.
Well, I suppose you could try and paint with goulash.
Whereas your little Joe, he did today, did he not?
Oh, yes. Yes, he painted with the chocolate fudge cake.
I got a picture of Joe with the chocolate fudge. Hang on, let's see if I can find it very quickly, just to show, This is painting.
Don't think I didn't notice that near fatal slip of the tongue, by the way.
That is painting with food.
Yeah, it's a face covered in chocolate. Well, it's not covered really, actually.
I can't really see that very well.
I've seen worse.
Hang on a minute, bear with me, caller. Nothing is,
I made
nothing
worse
is
mess of myself with the chocolate, actually.
Nothing is lined up in this show. Hang on. In focus. There he is, look. That is a face complete with spoon. Yeah. Bless his socks. So yeah. What were we doing? Oh yes. So the next one is the shear. Yes, that's right. Goulash on paper, and here it is. This is lovely. This one. Here we are. Let's have a look. There we go. How about that, ladies and gentlemen?
Lovely.
And I know that I've been to that church. I have been to that church. I recognise the pathway and the field, and that plough. The old hand plough lost in the field.
Sorry, I don't know why I found it funny that you recognised the plough.
Well, it's funny you should say that, but I went there with, what's his name, Matthew Holdsworth, to that very church. You can't go in, and there's some famous connection with it. I forget what it is. Is it Shear? That's not Shear. If it's the same, because Shear is a village. That's not Shear. What's he talking about? That's not Shear. If that's the church I'm thinking it is, maybe I'm thinking of somewhere else. It looks identical. Oh, sorry. There's a virus threat protection. Microsoft didn't find anything marvellous. I'm not surprised. Maybe it isn't Shear then. Anyway, whatever. I probably got that wrong. I probably got too excited then for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, maybe I don't. Maybe I've got that cocked that up. Don't worry. But anyway, there we go. That was our trip to the art gallery with Andrew Norris. But either way, I have been to that church, whichever one, and I don't recognise the plough then. I thought that was off the old... It reminded me of one that's off the old A25, which Sheer is off the old 25, but a little bit to the west. I can't think of the village that it is. I went there with Matthew Holdsworth, but I went to the one with Sheer with Mark English. When we did Sheer, we did a video in Sheer. You can look it up, actually, on the Tube of Views. That
was a good one.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Not that they're not all good, but that was a particularly good one.
Yeah, thank you very much. There we go. It is Sheer from the outside of the village, says Linda Kane, correcting me. Yeah, no, you're quite right, it is. I suddenly realised that it doesn't have a footpath going down. The one I went to with Matthew has got a road. But I can't remember the name of the village. We couldn't get in, and they wanted 50 quid, as I remember, for us to film in there. Matthew tried to get permission, and they said, yes, you can film it, it costs you 50 quid. We said something that rhymes with Rollocks.
By the way, that flag you've got to your left, we talked about that on Monday, didn't we?
Yeah, I was sold that this was the
It was Wednesday.
Sussex flag, but it's not.
Because of that, I thought it was a Sussex flag, but Linda Kane and someone else told us that it isn't. So I went looking it up and did a little bit of sleuthing and found that actually it was a proposed Sussex flag for combined Sussex counties based on a 2008 competition winner. And actually that particular one is a bit odd because it's like it's been cut down because it's missing more of the colour around the top and the sides, and also a white waves kind of iconography at the bottom.
Oh, I see.
It's really strange.
Keep bashing things.
So yeah, it is a Sussex flag. It's just not the official one.
Oh well, I don't want it. Oh, for goodness sake.
Bye. There it goes. Bye, Felicia. Flag.
That did sound like it broke. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so that's the Sussex flag, not the Sussex flag, rather, that has been devoured. Mark's Adventure says, I saw a church not far off. That steeple is a bit like an elephant trunk. Mozart, in fact. It got hit by lightning many years ago, and they... What did he mean, Mozart? And they didn't fix it for fear that it would collapse completely. Oh, interesting. Deborah Martin says, I love this style of painting. Yeah, it's very flat, though, isn't it? It's a very sort of flat type of painting. Is that because the paint and the gouache sort of, you know, it's like very flat?
What, thin paint?
No, I don't mean thin. I mean, it just looks like it's no depth to it. As in, not the paint, as in, or is it the style? It's like, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not good with words tonight.
I've got another video.
Yeah, but another video, going straight there. We're going up to see Bernie. This is the last of his over there in Wales, where he was at Beaumaris. He's told me how it's pronounced. It's spelt very differently in Welsh because that's a different language. And he is in Beaumaris. I think it's a bit like the potato, but very different. So that doesn't make any sense either.
Oh, look at those buildings over there, that one in particular. Regency, maybe. And there you can see some park homes heading up into the hillside. And there, a little pier. And a view across to the mainland. And Church Street, which looks rather interesting. I've just seen something I want to go and have a look at. No, Church Street. should mean there's a church, there's a pub, the Georgian Dragon. The sun's behind me, so I have no idea what you can see. But we've come up here because here is, I don't know whether it's still church, very little clue as to what it is. We'll go a bit further up. Things everywhere. Central Bakery. We're going to have a look at that. These is flats now. I'm guessing that would have been a chapel in its time. But there's no clue as to what denomination it was. And here's another tiny little chapel of some kind. Oasis exists. Sometimes you need to come along these back streets to find interesting architecture. Yes, where they converted this into flats, up there where that circle is, you would have expected to find the date stone. It'll be 1800s, I'd have thought. 1870, 1880, that kind of thing. Especially when you look over there and you find that that building goes back to 1892, so yeah, around about 1880s, 1890s. And it's now the Bold Arms pub, and there opposite is where I just walked through from the seafront, and that's another little interesting building tucked in behind there. The Forum. That might have been a chapel in the past, though I can't see the date in there, but it's sort of built into and behind the pub. Interesting. It's one of the oldest buildings in the British Isles. Dates from 1400 and was restored in about 1946. Amazing to find it in amongst everything else.
Right. Thank you very much, Bernie. I'm glad you mentioned yourself about keeping the camera up, because when we got up to that church, I don't know if I was the only one, but I was desperately going, tilt the camera up. Let's see it then. Tilt. I know you said the sun was behind you, and I assumed that you meant it was on the little screen, so you couldn't see what you were filming. And I know that is a terrible situation when you're filming.
That's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very annoying. But yeah, and presumably that was the Church of Church Street, that black and white one. You saw all the what do you call them? Not the pilasters, the thing that hold the church up, that stick out. The what's the architectural term for it? That's,
Pillar?
It is a pillar.
Column?
It leans
No,
up.
I know what you mean, but I can't.
I do know the term, but of course I can't bloody remember it because we're live on the show, which is
Inevitably, and it's Friday.
it's Friday, and who gives them monkeys anyway? Buttress, that's the word. Buttress, not flying buttress, but just a buttress. The buttress, the little low buttresses and all of that. So yeah, that was fascinating to see that. But I was desperate. Get the camera up. And also the forum there, that was interesting. I thought that the name must have been the clue, because that looking building with the sort of Romanesque they were pilasters, weren't they, at the side, with the scroll capital, which is not a Corinthian. Come on, it's a. I do know these bloody terms. And what's the scroll one? Anyway,
Don't know.
presumably it was like the because a forum would have been what, like the village, not the village hall, but the town hall, or a place where the council chamber or something. I'm assuming. Ionic says Emily. Yes, Ionic. Not Doric. No, Doric's. Doric. Oh, wait a minute. Which is the scroll and which there's Corinth? Anyway, whichever way round it is.
That lovely building at the end, the 14th century one with the wood beams. I read recently that actually they should be lime washed completely, not just the white bits, but the dark beams as well. They shouldn't be dark; they should be whitewashed.
They should be whitewashed. Is that what you mean? To look more authentic, or to protect?
To be more authentic and to be better protected, because the beams are supposed to be able to dry out completely, and if you put the tar on it or whatever, it means it's more prone to woodworm and things like that, apparently.
Oh right, that's interesting, because I think it was the Victorians who started to put the tar on.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And they weren't.
Indubitably. That's my favourite word today.
Indubitably. What does it mean?
Mm-hmm. It means inevitably, kind of, or in essence.
Bo Maris says Sean's garden allotment. Bo Maris, there we are. Roman even says Roman. So that's fascinating though. Fascinating, a lovely looking place with lots of interesting things. And as he said at the beginning, great to go and look at the things that most people don't bother to look at. But it'd be interesting to live in an ex-chapel or ex-church that's been converted into flats. I'm not sure whether I don't know whether I like that really. I mean, I don't mind a church falling into private hands if it's being empty, but to keep the essence of the church, like the nave and the chapel, and
I've seen some very, very lovely, single house or conversions of old chapels and things. And,
right.
They're really lovely.
But I don't like the idea of them being chopped up and fake floors putting in and all of that. No. I think you've got to keep the integral interior, because like with land and farmers, I don't think farmers should have the right to sell the land for development, because I think that by tradition, farmers are custodians of the land. They may own it for the duration they're on it. They shouldn't be able to sell it. We have a caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Vobes Show.
This is the Welsh correspondent.
Ah, the Welsh correspondent. Is it Sean James Cameron from Bo Maris?
It is.
Oh, marvellous. How are you?
I knew somebody who actually took on a church, and they were a chapel, and they were so fed up with all the locals come in and sort of going, "Oh, could I borrow a cup of sugar?" and then trying to have a look at the place. That They just had a big party and invited everybody around.
Well, that's a perfect way of doing it, isn't it? That is the perfect. When I was filming in Dorset, I went to have a look at a church that a bloke had converted. He lived in it. He lived in this church. And I was taking pictures, and I saw him revving up his car, and I forget where it was, King's Fold or something, just up from. I'm not good today. I am having a bad day. I'm having a bad show today. Can't think of anything. The castle in Dorset, near where I was filming, in the bottom of the valley. Corfe Castle. Thank you, brain. Slowly beginning to work.
Hey,
And
brain.
up the road from Corfe Castle is something like King's Land or King's Fold or King's something. And there's a little church just to the top of the hill, turn left. And this bloke was revving his car in there. I was tuning up his engine. And I said to him, oh, do you mind if I film your church? He said, what do you want? What do you want? And he was quite aggressive. And he said, these people want to take pictures of the church and all this. Anyway, I charmed him and he said, yeah, you can take a picture. But he owned this church and he said he was doing it. And loads of people wanted to come inside and have a look at it. And he was saying, no, tell them to bog off. They can't come in. I own it. I bought it.
I've just sent you an email of my friend's chapel. And what they did was they kept as much of the interior as they could, but still made it into a house.
Did they?
And I've just sent you a link to the article that was in the newspaper, and the conversion is stunning, and it still feels like a chapel.
Wow. Okay, we're looking at it now.
Yeah.
Now,
So
do you
just
like a
scroll
very
down, and you'll
sympathetic
see.
Conversion?
Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the conversion.
So there's
My
before and after.
Blimey, there's the befores. Oh, it's a bit modern, isn't it? I mean, I know people have got to live in there. See, if it was me, I would live in the old. I would just live in the old church with all the pews and everything else.
That's the thing. I mean, it is sympathetically done. You could revert it back if the need arose.
Yes.
You know.
Well, two churches sold during the same week, and the other church that sold, they completely ripped it out, and you go in there, and it just looks like a box.
Do you know, I've been in timber frame properties that are the same. From the outside, it's timber framing, looks like a Elizabethan house, and you think, wow, this is lovely. Go inside, all the timbers have hidden, could be a flat in London. And you just think, what's the point? Why not have a bloody ordinary house and just stick some fake timbers on the outside if you're going to do that? I mean, to me, the whole point of living in a period house is to keep the sodding thing looking as if it's about to tumble down and be period. I would live, if I had a church, I would just have a paraffin heater and keep the pews, keep everything else, and have a fridge at one end. Probably wouldn't need the fridge, to be honest with you. You could probably put the milk and cheese on the altar. And then I would, that would be it. I'd have my desk behind the organ. And I would try and keep as much of that. I wouldn't start putting up blooming chipboard or plasterboard and all that. I personally hated the interior that your friends. I mean, all of that very boxy kitchen. I don't like modern stuff. I mean, the more I see this stuff. The more I see of modern stuff, the more I detest it. I don't know what it is.
I haven't got any pictures to show you, but there's a house in the village where it doesn't come up for sale that often. Once it goes into a family, it goes into a family for 100 years. And that was built in 1652.
Was it? That sounds nice.
And they haven't touched it. Somebody in the 70s bought it, and they tried to put plaster all over the outside, and the council came and ripped it all down.
It's outrageous. Ernie Samet says, and there am I restoring an early English Victorian schoolhouse to all its glory, full of wood. Well, I hope, Ernie, that you have a couple of the desks in there, with the ink blots and the catapults that kids had, and a what the butler saw book to sort of hand round to their mate. Yeah, there's some naughty pictures in it, and all of that. That's what I want to see. And of course, a cage. You've got to have a cage. Where was it? There's a school, a Victorian school in. I think it's in Shropshire somewhere. Maybe in Shrewsbury. Can't remember, or Shrewsbury, depending on who you want to know. And when the school first opened, they had a cage, and naughty boys, because it was mainly boys, were shoved in this cage above the other pupils.
Nice.
People in the West End would pay to go in a cage.
I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would. Great fun.
Bonnie H says the family that bought their old place
fantastic video this morning, getting up that early.
Yeah, yes, I had to get up because there was pikeys rattling the blooming van. Julia was just... Hang on, Julia, say what you were going to say.
Bonnie H says the family that bought their old house have painted the black beams white. Have they actually painted it white? Because that's just as bad as painting it black.
They should be shot. Burn the house down. You may as well just set fire to the place now.
Lime washed.
Well, I think that after your days, that house in Worthing will just stand there, and people will come, and there'll be small bits of tape by the doorways, and Julia will show them around, going, "This is where he sat by the Essie."
This is where he spent hours and hours editing a day.
Yeah,
wearing his little fingertips to nubs.
Exactly, like those cow buds, whatever, the horn buds.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that as soon as I flog this house, somebody will come in and just gut the place, rewire it. Desperately needs rewiring until it might burn down with all the electricity that comes out of this.
I was talking to a friend of mine today, and he just happened to throw in the conversation that his house was the same house that Enid Blyton was.
Oh right, the same house that Enid Blyton. Wow, how interesting.
But because he knows that, he doesn't really tell people, because he's like, oh well, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't want people coming round, do you? I mean,
I was talking to him about the fact that Julie Andrews lived around the corner from the allotment site when she was a kid.
Yes, but
I think she was about 16, going on 17 when she lived there.
Right. I mean, if you moved into a house and you discovered, and nobody else really knew, and you discovered, but you had proof that somebody very famous, lived in your house, Winston Churchill or someone, big magnitude of fame, lived in your house, would you tell anyone? I wouldn't. I'd keep that a bloody secret, because you don't want the people coming, oh, well, let's go and have a look. You wait until you're going to sell it and then stick it on and go, yeah, Winston Churchill. Then you can, get an extra 50 grand or whatever shoved on the top of it. But I wouldn't, you wouldn't want, whilst you're actually there, you wouldn't want it, because all sorts of people in the middle of the night. Sister, I can't have a look where Winston Churchill slept in the night. Well, you can have a look at where I was bloody sleeping until you knocked on the door. No. Is he in? Who? Winston Churchill, is he in? No, he's been dead for years. Is he dead? Is he lying in state? Well, he's lying somewhere in a state, I can tell you.
No, when I used to work on Granada TV, they used to have tours of Coronation Street, and there were people that genuinely believed that Jack and Vera lived in those houses.
Yeah, well, the actors often, if you're in a soap and you're one of the cast that happens to be somebody who beats up a wife, the actors get attacked. In the street, they go down to the supermarket, day off from acting. Is it, you're a bastard, you are. What do you mean? Oh, I was watching you last night beating up but Sadie. No, but it's just fiction. It's just a sort. No, you're a wife basher, you are. No, I'm an actor.
I know people stop me in the street and they think that I know about gardening.
Yeah. I mean, it's all a facade. I've actually never stepped out this house. It's all blue screen. It's all blue screen. It'd be better if it was green screen, but it's all blue screen. But there you are. Anyway, let's better move on. Thank you very much for that. Bye-bye. Take care. That was Sean James Cameron from somewhere interesting, and
originally from Wales.
So yeah, interesting about the church there, but hideous on the inside. I'm sure people completely disagree with me, of course, because most people do. That's very much the situation. Any interesting comments? I saw you tapping away and doing stuff.
Yes. Robert Croce has said that Latin is a dead language and is pointless. And a few of us are pointing out that actually it's not pointless because, well, I've said it's a dead language. A dead language it may be, but Latin is the language of history, a keystone language of a large proportion of modern languages.
And it's the basis of a lot of what words we have and how we speak and what have you, mixed with other stuff. So, so
it's not pointless at all.
No, absolutely. And if you know, I mean, unfortunately I only went to a stupid school for dunces, and so it was comprehensive. And I wish I'd gone to the grammar school to have learnt a bit of Latin to be educated, because It goes back in all of our history, and it's so important. But unfortunately, I know no Latin whatsoever, other than what's in the words that I use that I don't necessarily know it's Latin. So
I had the opportunity to learn Latin at secondary school, but I chose not to because somebody put me off. And I really wish I hadn't listened. I wish I'd just done it, because the number of times I'd have used it in my lifetime.
Yeah,
I could probably count on both hands.
Exactly.
But that's not the point. I could have used it.
So we know what we're talking about. QED. Anyway, so moving off, we must go.
Videos?
We got more videos, yes, and we've done the quiz, haven't we? Well, it wasn't a quiz, the cow naming and shaming, and we've done that. So we've got a couple more. We got one from Julia, which we're going to have a look at now. Julia, perhaps you could introduce us to your video. Hang on, let's go and open the video box.
Look at those buildings over there.
Hang on a minute, Bernie. Keep calm. He's very keen. We've seen that one, Bernie. Yeah, Julia, sorry.
Which one have we got first?
Yeah, whichever one you fancy.
Okay, let's go for the fishies first.
Fishies first.
Yes, I was overcome with emotion when I went and took Jojo in and had a look in this aquatic shop. When I spotted a fish, or a species of fish that I used to own, and yeah.
So we'd gone to the camping shop, hadn't we, just to set this up?
Right.
We'd gone to the camping shop, and you may have seen that video. And adjacent to the camping shop, or part of the complex, was this, was this sort of aquarium. Do you call it?
Aquatics.
Aquatics.
Shop. Yeah.
And you went off and you said, hang on a minute, Richard, before we go, I've got to make this. So let's have a look, see how emotional you get.
I did get a bit distracted towards the end and forgot my main point, which I can't even remember what my main point was. I might remember by the end of the video. Here we go. Hello. Just in the camping place. So we've just done a YouTube, well, most of the bits from the YouTube video for the Bold Explorer. But I had the opportunity to have a look in the aquatic section. Look at these lovelies. They're really friendly and quite cute. They were following me and Joseph around. Very lovely. But what I actually wanted to talk about, bear with, it is a bunch of fish down here. So I had to squeeze past some people. I have to admit, I was rather taken aback by my feelings. I've been a fish keeper for 20 something years. Not now. My last fish died, and I not even packed up the tank yet properly. But these little fish, when I saw these little fish, it reminded me, obviously, of a breeding pair that I had once, and I hadn't realised how much I had loved them. I knew I loved them. I didn't know how much. I can't explain it. Just the emotions that I just got just looking at these guys. Just look at them though. These are called crebensis. I don't know the scientific name. I can get a decent focus on them. Oh, you just see my reflection. I've got pictures. I'll share pictures as well. But oh my gosh, crebensis, they're beautiful. I don't know what else to say about them except I love them. I want another pair. My breeding pair was so lovely. They got so happy that they made lots and lots and lots and lots of babies. They're really brilliant parents. They are fantastic parents. They are very protective, and I had to remove all other fish that I had in the aquarium at the time. They are amazing fish. No, I don't want a pair. I do want a pair. I don't want a pair. They're gorgeous, aren't they? What do you think? They're unlike most of the other fish. The fact that they're purple, I suppose, helps. Anyway, just thought I'd share that pointless little fact for you. Bye for now.
Yeah, lovely. Lovely fish. Very lovely fish. We have another video from the lovely Julia, and she's going to be waxing lyrical about something a little bit different, but we'll come back to that in a few minutes. But that was lovely, Julia.
Yes.
What was that thing on your face? Was that because you wanted to be fish-like and breathe through gills instead of a mouth?
Yeah, I hadn't realised how much I'd been out of breath when I started, but I did run from the van to the shop.
You
So
did.
I was like, I'll
You
just do
did.
2 minutes. And so I was, and you can see it in the mask, can't you?
Yeah,
Thinking
no.
Darth Vader.
Absolutely, yeah. Daft Vader. Indeed.
Darth Vader, definitely.
Definitely. Right. So we do have some music. We will come to that in a moment. John Tet. See email. Here we go. This is John and Diane, walking with John and Diane. And John has sent in a video, and he says in his email, he says, Richard, thanks for showing our video on the Monday show. We were both blown away by the praise from the Vobesters. This was the one at Pagham with the beautiful sunrise. Well, it was a lovely video. We thoroughly enjoyed it. He says, we were inspired by your Bald Explorer videos, as well as to provide some entertainment for my 86-year-old dad, who's been very much isolated for the past 15 months in Wiltshire. Till February of this year, I'd only done the occasional 35mm SLR and DSLR stills photography. I have not shot or edited a video in my life. As Diana and I love walking, we took inspiration from you to create our own walk videos, but in a rather different way from yours, still showcasing the beauty of the landscape and nature, but without having my scary face on film. The world is not ready for that, he says. I'm sure we're all desperately ready for it. Unfortunately, he says, the lovely Diana underwent major surgery on Monday. She caught up with your show on Wednesday and apologises for not being well enough to watch live. Well, you know, you're under the knife. I think that's a good excuse not to watch, which means our walks will be somewhat curtailed for some time. I hope that, Diana, you are all right and that you have survived the big operation, whatever it was. The link.
Off, you hope you recover quickly.
Yeah, we hate to hear of anybody being hacked about by those people who have no qualifications. But luckily, I think you went to a hospital as opposed to the quacks down the road. The link below is for an excerpt of our walk last Sunday at Bosham, a place we know that you've also visited. I did actually go with Martin Snow. It was very nice. Our videos for your show are cut down from those on our channel, so you can check them out on the channel, which I guess must be under the same name, Walking with John and Diane, I assume, so that your viewers who wish to watch a bit more can go by visiting the channel. We are not doing any videos at the moment, other than it's just as a hobby, and hopefully to entertain those who are unable to do the walks, and we feel privileged to be able to do it. Anyway, hope you find a slot for the show, and we certainly will. Let us go and have a look at another of these remarkable videos. There you go. How about that? Wasn't that beautiful? Some wonderful shots there. Very photogenic. Bosom down near Chichester at the harbour there, with some of the wildlife pecking around the water.
Very
Absolutely
serene and lovely. And
Wasn't it
peaceful.
nice? Yeah, lovely.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you
Thanks for that. Do send more in. We do enjoy it very much, and I think the comments are complimentary as well.
Reflect that very much, yes.
Absolutely. There we go. Ray
Station
of Hope.
Master's Choice says egrets have really established themselves in Sussex now. Yes, I agree. It's really, really
And we
lovely.
have no regrets that the egrets have done it.
No regrets about the egrets.
Hmm.
Very good point.
Thanks. Ray of Hope says England is so stylish. Love the rivers and streams, the houses and the wildlife. He's quite right, really. It is very stylish, and it's nice to... it's more than nice. It's absolutely beautiful. And this is what one is fighting to keep that style, to keep that beauty, to keep that peace and that quiet against the crazy modern-day bustle and hustle of life. We all need to go somewhere where you can feel at peace and part of
And not rushed around.
a nice
on
older
busy
community.
bypasses.
Now, I'm just fighting off a sneeze in my nose.
Bless you.
Thank you in
Like to
advance.
Steal the sneeze. Or sneal the steez.
Sneal the Steez. It's very close. It's very close to that time, ladies and gentlemen, in which we hear Ray of Hope's latest exciting stuff. But before we get there, Julia has been out and about again, and you're going to introduce the second of your videos, which
Yes.
was done at night.
I had been on a late, well, it wasn't that late, an evening shopping trip because I suddenly realised I needed a few bits for my cupboard. So, and there's a friend I have there, which, well, let's go and see.
Excuse me? Yawning?
Yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
let's
people.
leap into the... sorry, I meant to leap into there before we said it so you could link straight into it. Yeah, so your friend...
Come along, meet my friend.
Hi folks, it's only me. I just thought I'd do a quick little video. I'm sure everybody knows how much I love trees. Some of my favourites, well, among my favourites are yew trees. and oaks and elder. But among the oaks, my favourite oak has to be the holm oak, the evergreen oak. And of all the holm oaks I've seen, of which there are many big, beautiful, amazing specimens, but my favourite has to be this guy or girl. This beautiful thing here. Can't see much of it right now. Let me see if I can get a better angle on it. You can see some of its leaves up there. They look yellow, orange through the light. The reason I'm so particularly infatuated with this tree is because it's a survivor. It is trapped in this tiny little square in this massive tarmac. I suppose the curbstone's made of concrete, and every summer I see it get a little bit dry and a little bit frazzled because it doesn't get enough water through the tarmac. So when I do come here, because it's in this car park, when I do come here, especially in the summer, I try to make sure I bring a bottle of water and pour it on the roots. I see someone's dropped a tea bag down there, which is probably a good thing, to be honest. Give it a little bit more nutrients. But let's see if I can see the canopy. Not very well. Okay, I'll walk away. Get a good look at her. I don't know whether it's genuinely masculine, male or female, but there she is. Let's choose. There's got to be a better angle. But yes, this is a survivor, continuing to survive. Somebody else coming in, how embarrassing. Continuing to survive in this awful environment where there used to be a eucalyptus in the island here, which is no more. They've even filled in the square where it used to be, and that one, not sure what that one is from here. So over the years I've actually seen several trees get lopped down from here for whatever reasons. I've not seen any decent reason for them to chop them, but this one, this lovely holm oak, prevails, and I love it. I just thought I'd show you guys. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you very much, Julia. That was lovely. Sorry, I bashed the microphone right at the end there. That's one of my clumsy things. What's fascinating there, or sad rather, is that they have left that tiny little area where any water and other nutrients can get to, and the roots are clearly underneath. And they've got no room, no air, no
to
oxygen,
grow,
other than whatever, and you know,
there's supposed to be a good metre or two at least around the trunk available to it, but I know in modern progressed society we've got no space or time for that.
It looked bigger when you were close up to it, and yet when you walked away it looked like a tiny little thing.
Yeah, you see how skinny it actually is. Maybe next time I'll try and get a video of another very good tree friend of mine, which is also a holm oak. It's just, as the crow flies, probably about 30 metres, maybe
in the same car park?
No, not in the same car park, but in a car park very close by.
Oh, right. Oh,
It's
okay.
not in a car park at all. It's actually in front of the library. But as the crows flies, it's probably only, within 50 metres, really.
Right.
And it's a stark difference. This one is big. It's beautiful. It's got a big old lean on it.
So do you think that one was planted at the same time they built the shopping centre and the car park?
I reckon they were probably, they were probably planted at the same time.
As a sapling. And it has, but it's not sort of being able to go massive. I mean, how old is that looks like it's sort of 1990s type thing.
Yeah. The actual car park?
Yeah, well, the shopping centre and car park, probably 1990s, something like that.
It's Asda in Lancing, right next to the train station. And the other holm oak is just north of the line, outside the library. The train line, that is. Yeah,
Fantastic.
very
Yeah, well,
interesting.
we
Stark
look forward
difference.
to go and introduce us to your other favourite trio on another video. That would be great. All good stuff. Thank you very much, lovely Julia. We are fast approaching the end of tonight's show. It is the bank holiday. I hope you're going to have a lovely time. The weather, I think, is going to be nice, which will be great. But my advice is stay off the roads, because you know what happens on the bank holiday. If you do go early. Don't do what most people do. Why do people do this on a bank holiday weekend? Why do people always leave mid-morning when everybody leaves mid-morning? Why not go early when there's barely anybody on the road? Everybody goes at that mid-morning 10:30 time. And
I
then
always
it's
liked driving at night.
yeah, that's probably the best thing. I don't understand it. But anyway, there we are. That is it. So, Ray of Hope has sent in. Now, Bonnie sent in a video. I didn't get a chance to download it, I'm afraid, Bonnie, when I was setting up. I had to set up the show earlier this afternoon, and then I had to rush off because your mum was offering a meal. To buy us a meal.
My mum.
Yeah, your mum, the lovely
I know,
Julia's mum.
Suddenly dawned on me. Oh yeah, my mum.
Yeah, your mum. And Helen, if you're watching, I did thank you at the beginning of the programme, but if you may not have got there, you may not have been travelling. But thank you very much. It was absolutely delicious. It was lovely to see you and spend a bit of time with you and with the lovely Julia and little Joe and Elijah. So thank you very much for making me feel welcome. And so that's why I had to come back, and everything was a bit last minute and a bit out of it because... I just had the usual sort of time to get myself in the zone. But, so I haven't got your video, Bonnie, basically. But
That'll be on Monday.
That'll be on Monday, indeedy. So we're going to play out with a bit of techno. Thanks to Ray's got into his techno. Now, the lovely Julia played a tune, if you remember, on the Monday show. What tunes did you play, lovely Julia?
I did two, didn't I?
You did two.
I did one from Pocahontas.
Correct.
Colours of the Wind. And I did Streets of London.
And Streets of London has been given the Ray Techno touch.
Yay.
Well, you like the techno rhythm from Wednesday. Hopefully Julia would like this version. Techno rhythm. Let's have a go.
Whoa! What do you make of that then, lovely Julia?
That was joyful, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a little jig. I was so lost in my own little world then, I forgot we were actually doing a show.
Yeah, absolutely doing a show. Techno, it's amazing what you can do, isn't it? So what other styles of type of music? I mean, I would like to hear a 1920s...
D-I-S-C-O, maybe?
Yeah.
So 1920s.
I'd like to hear a 1920s version of something. I mean, House of the Rising Sun has been done a number of times, hasn't it? But I think we should give him a challenge, shouldn't we? Something that obviously he can play, because things like Black Beauty was a bit of a difficult one. But something that
Bonnie
he can play.
H is requesting jazz, probably so she can jam away with her.
Oh yeah, that's true.
saxophone.
Jazz. There we are. So maybe a 1920s jazz. Or 30s. Is it jazz is from the 30s, is it?
30s, yeah.
1930s. There we are, 1930s jazz. But it's almost like that sort of tune to the, like you've done there, a traditional tune, like Streets of London, but slightly, done in a different style. I quite like that. I think that's great. So there we go. Marvellous stuff. Anyway, listen, we've come to the end of the show. It's at 9:30. Your bank holiday starts now. Thank you for tolerating us on the 28th of May 2021. Big thanks to John Fox for the running over the downs, Chris Navad for his lovely tits, Bernie at Bowman's, or Beaumaris, I beg your pardon, for Ray of Hope's wonderful techno of the streets of London, John and Diana walking with for the Bosom one, to lovely Julia for both the fish and, of course, the tree, which we thoroughly enjoyed. Andrew Norris.
Sorry about the bad quality, but...
No, it's great. That was on your new phone. Andrew Norris's lovely churches. Fantastic. Want to see more of what Andrew has got for us. And Bonnie, of course, for her naming the cows. And Sean James Cameron for giving us a call, which was very good. And Daniel, was it Daniel Watkins who rang in? Somebody rang in last week, and I forgot to thank them for their first-time call.
Yes, it
was it
Daniel?
Yeah,
it was.
So if it wasn't you, it was somebody else. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure it was Daniel Watkins.
Yeah, it's very easy for us to get confused because we don't know what we're doing half the time. But anyway, and to lovely Julia for coming in, to Judith, who's out there moderating, and to all of you guys for coming in and supporting us, even though tonight I feel I've been a bit under par. Sorry about that.
Group hug.
Group hug. I feel a bit odd doing this.
That's because you look a bit odd doing that.
Thanks very much. So sorry if I'm a bit under par tonight, but back again on Mundaddy, Bank Holiday Mundaddy here in the jolly old Worth. But we hope that Worthing. Hope that you have a fantastic time, and if you manage to get out to a pub or any of these things that are now newly open and can enjoy yourselves, please let us know all about it. Send your videos in, but we'll try and feed them down towards Friday. For Friday night is film night, but that may not be next week. We may have to sort of slowly get into that because we may find we've got no content for the rest of the week. So anyway, take care one and all. Thank you very much. Look after yourself. Thanks, Julia.
Thank you very much. And thank you for putting on my silly videos.
No, they were great. It was lovely. No, absolutely. All part of the show. Until next time, take care one and all, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.
Bye. Hang on. Wrong button.